biscuit in my mouth. I haven't had custard cream for ages. Got a load of biscuits in the oh, a little biscuit stuck in my teeth. Sorry, guys. Custard creams, hey. That's how I knew my kids were back with them foster carers again that fucking abused my kids. Because my daughter come in with custard cream. I had custard creams. Just been dunking some biscuits in my coffee and eating soggy biscuits with my coffee. So I got some nice biscuits with the food bank today. So anyway, I tried to get online to do a live and I decided to ring Buckingham Palace again. Now, the funny thing is, I think it's actually Buckingham Palace's number. I went online earlier on and I tried to get a list of all the numbers that I needed to ring, reference Holtley Adoption Drive. Obviously, I've come across very grand because I say you guys are going to do this and then you fucking don't. And why yours is in fucking November, Frederick. Maybe it's a good thing, maybe not. But the time is now. We're in, you're on live with me right now. We're in the present moment. The past is gone. The future is yet to be. What we decide happens here right now as the core movement happens. Do you know what I mean? You just either get in your own way or you don't. So anyway, I've been dunking biscuits in my coffee. And I've got some bits of biscuits in my teeth, looking a bit funny. Just give a couple of people time to come on. I have tagged Buckingham Palace and it's come up with the number, so I know it's already been picked up on their little system. And I won't get into what happened on Buckingham Palace. I might actually even try ringing the number back again and seeing what happens while we're actually on live, and you can make a decision, because I just went on to Google and basically while the boys were asleep, I just wanted to make as many calls as possible, and I haven't got the office properly set up yet, so I'm not running like an efficient person with a PA and everything and la-di-da-di-da, and I don't have a boardroom and stuff like that. I'm just a breastfeeding mum in a one-bedroom flat with a bunch of fucking ironing toys sat on the sofa, and Kellogg's Rice Krispies all over the fucking floor, and Hoover's still out, and car, and some travelling books, wishing I could go off travelling, but unfortunately I don't have all of my children, so can't quite leave them behind, you know what I mean, and just go off and enjoy my life. So anyway, what's Frederick just said? Things are happening and it's on Kelly's day. So that's okay, I'm assuming, because I had to click in my head then. Oh fuck, actually. No, it's not. My son's birthday is the 23rd of November. That's Shiloh's anyway. So anyway, I'm going to do some lives over on Help the Adoption Drive. So if anybody wants to join me, I was going to do one tonight with Frederick, but I didn't expect to be on the phone Buckingham Palace with what's just happened. I'm going to tell you in a minute when the lights go up and people are here, because you won't want to sort of like skip in and out as I just sort of say a couple of things that's just happened. So and I'm going to try and call while on this live just to double check that you guys know I'm not a raving fucking idiot and actually I've made the call, whether or not it's somebody who's got a hoax number for it and they just sit there like officials, or whether it goes directly to Buckingham Palace and they do have all their switchboards just like a normal business. Either way, XR got shut down today. The question is, I rang Buckingham Palace because actually I tried, let me just do something. I tried Downing Street first, but I think Downing Street's got me blocked. I do this a lot, by the way, guys. I do this whenever I've got a spare little bit of moment or I feel a little bit inspired. I ring Parliament, ring Doodah. They actually once on a mental health show on London Tonight actually talked about this guy that had serious mental health. He used to think that he ran around with MI5 agents and all this thing and used to think this grand conspiracy. So they injected him in the arse and sectioned him, and now all of a sudden he convenient doesn't believe anything that he once did. And I thought, well, this is funny. Do I have mental health? Because like at that particular time I was at Belinda's home. I was sitting in Belinda's house reading some books, sat with David Taylor, who is an ex-MI5. The papers tell me that, not just him. So, you know, that's not just me having a conversation with someone who tells me something and I have to look and decide, is it true or not? The papers actually say it. So if the papers say it, we've got to believe it, haven't we? So, or is it all just an illusion? Is there just this one world that exists around us and it's all just a perception of our own reality or what, you know? But anyway, what's just happened is gone, but what's going to happen from it is what I'm interested in. So anyway, let's go on the street first. It will say it's busy, right? Which makes me think that I'm personally blocked. So I'm going to read the number out as I say it. I'm scattering in and out now, aren't I? Nah, the scammer's sat outside by any chance. I'm actually on my city Wi-Fi and not my BBC. My BT's been cut out. So I'm on my Wii City Wi-Fi. I'm not paranoid, just aware. So anyway, how do I put this thing on speakerphone? How do I put it on speakerphone? I don't actually like, I use my mobile for everything. There we go. Right, so where's my redials? That's Buckingham Palace. Right, this one's 10 Downing Street. This is 10 Downing Street. 0207270300. So that rings to me as busy. So if anybody can try calling that number and seeing whether it's busy, I'll read that number out to you again. That's for 10 Downing Street. It's off their own website. Oh, am I glitching to you guys or just this side? So anyway, where's my redial? So that telephone number again for 10 Downing Street. So tell me whether it rings busy for you or not. If so, I'll come and ring off somebody else's phone. I'm really glitching. 0207 270 3000. So now let's try Buckingham Palace. I'm just going to ask them if they got the message and who it's going to go to, and if I can do a freedom request on the recording. Redial. So this is Buckingham Palace. 0207 930 4832. That's 0207 930 4832. So might not answer to me again.
Okay.
Hello, is that switchboard for Buckingham Palace?
Yes, may I help you?
Hello there. I left a call. I spoke to somebody earlier on and I could hear the TV in the background, but I'm assuming they just sort of left me speaking. I'm just wondering if that conversation was recorded and who it had been sent to.
Yeah, they'll be passed over to the day shift.
Passed over to who, sorry?
Day shift.
Day shift. 9 o'clock. Okay. Now, can I do a freedom of request on the phone call and all the information that I actually put in, and to make sure it actually does go to the Queen? Yeah, is that okay to do so? Hello? Oh, hang on, you're letting me record again. Okay. I actually am currently live on this particular occasion. I did leave a message earlier on. If this message can please be handed over to the day shift, that I actually have the network of forced adoption exposed on with me now, and is growing faster and faster as the numbers are going on as I'm doing this. If you could just ask her to please halt the adoption drive and to suspend all current cases and to reverse to support families. I'm sure everybody is aware that all the money is in adoption and long-term foster care. And if we could have a really nice concert with all the XR guys, make lots of shitloads of money to support families and start reuniting and helping people, that would be really great. So if I could also freedom of request on previous messages, and I will be sending over an email on the information that was in that previous message. And if we can know by pretty much tomorrow, so if this goes on today's shift for say 9 o'clock, if by the media maybe something could be done, and if not, then it won't just be phone calls. We will then be continuing on to next stages of direct action. Thanks very much. Are you still there? Cool. Brilliant. Thank you. So there you go, darlings. That's how easy it is. Now that call basically gets recorded and put to the day shift, and all you, at the end of the day, we can talk to each other on Twitter, or we can talk to the people decisions. Do you know what I mean? So obviously Downing Street has either got me blocked now, or it's just on complete busy because they don't have a proper system now. Because it's really old buildings in Parliament, they don't actually have all of the proper security that you think they have. They don't have all of the phone systems that businesses have. So they'll be sitting in a little office in some little back part of London, and they'll have a little call centre, and they'll sit flyer, and it'll probably be on a really old system, funny enough, because they're not able to actually cable in. They've only just redone Big Ben, if you think about it. So Big Ben's been released like recently. So a lot of the meetings actually go on in Portcullis House, which is across the road near Tesco. So people don't realise that you can actually go into Parliament. People don't realise this. This is what makes me laugh about people when they protest outside, like Buckingham Palace and all these places. And I just sort of, I actually pissed people off when I was down at Scott, because they used to think that I wasn't there, and I used to do, and I wasn't. I was going into Parliament, and I was sitting in Parliament, and I was going to talk to people, and I was like, look, we've got protesters outside, and it's going to get bigger. And you know, I was doing that bit, the bit that people can't do, that only I can do, because that's my piece of the puzzle. Other pieces of people can do this part, other people can do that part. And what I basically said on the first conversation was that, and I have confirmed, he said on the phone, that is the switchboard for Buckingham Palace. That's not me being completely fucking crazy. You know, at the end of the day, what are we meant to do? Are we meant to just sit here on Crackbook just whinging to each other about how we feel and what's going on? Or are we going to stop this from happening to other people? Because like I said on the phone call earlier on, and I did actually say, how would you feel if I sent the crew in and come and took one of your children? I said, that's not a threat for me to do that. I would never, ever, ever want to inflict that pain on any mother or father, because I know what this pain feels like. And all I basically said is, look, instead of covering up all of this shit because you want to protect your son, then why don't you just accept that your son needs some fucking help? Be a rightful mother. Because if any of my kids, and I've had this with I don't really want to get into my son's things. It's not my things to talk about. But even say, Daniel won't mind me talking about this. It's quite funny. But, you know, I had this little thing where Daniel used to make pound coins muddy, and he used to say he found it, and actually it was a pound coin for me and stuff. And, you know, if I was a mother who allowed my son to do that and not learn from that, then what sort of mother would I be? Do you know what I mean? If I had a son who, or even a daughter, you know, and I wouldn't want to project this on any of my children, but God forbid, one of my children, I'm really lucky. I'm really, really lucky. Okay, I've got one particular son that I can talk about that struggled really, really, really badly after Aaron and Faith were taken. And Leon has talked openly about, you know, dabbling into, you know, coke and things, and it's been mentioned before, and you know, it's not something he does now, but he got very lost. In fact, he got arrested on his 18th birthday because he lost it with a police officer. You know, he just took it out on a police officer in the streets. You know, he just saw all police officers as evil, nasty people. They were all one same person to him, because, you know, these police officers had taken his brother and his sister, and this police officer had stood in front of him and said, it's okay, we're just letting this situation calm down, and they're coming back tomorrow. You know, so on his 18th birthday, he completely fucking lost it. And then all of a sudden, you know, he has a baby and a family, and you know, all of a sudden, you know, that goes crazy. She walks in with a new boyfriend, and obviously he struggled. But that doesn't define him. That was an ups, and he came to mum. You know, he came to mum. He came here and he sorted his life out. Do you know what I mean? And he's done fucking amazing. He didn't go to some fucking drug clinic in Preston and say, look, or to some homeless place. He didn't. He got on a fucking bus and he came to mum. And we talked about it and we got it all out, and he was able to tell me everything that had gone on and how he was feeling and what he wanted to do. And yes, he went out and he went and job searched for cleaning jobs and bar jobs, but he made a decision that he wanted to be a hairdresser. Fuck whether people thought he was gay. He's not, you know, and that was something he thought, you know, would people think I was gay just because I was a hairdresser? When did gays have the hairdressing world, you know? You want to be a hairdresser, be a hairdresser. You want to be the agenda of gayness, is, you know, this stuff that I saw on this LGBT yesterday. Oh, whether people want to believe in satanic or God or good, bad or nasty or rotten apples or lovely apples or bad to the core or good to the core. You know, it's now just said that I'm fucking reconnecting. Am I still here? I'm getting really bored with this technology bullshit. I'm getting bored with this whole situation, to be honest. Am I still here? Amber, are you here to just tell me whether I'm still fucking here or not? Do I have to ring fucking Queen again? Talk to security, Queen? Maybe they said they'd put me through to whoever I like. Who should I ask for to speak to? So I just talked to Buckingham Palace all night and just speak to different people. They said they'd put me through to whoever I wanted to speak to. Even if, there's no point me talking if I don't know if I'm here. Let me just scroll down and see if I'm being told I'm still here. Am I still here? Oh, now I'm beeping. Hiya, Maria. Is that you saying, yes, I'm still here? Right. Well, it's saying on my thing, trying to reconnect due to poor wireless connection. Your video has been paused. That's why I asked, because if it's paused on your side, then there's absolutely no point me talking. But if the Lord is permitting this and he's saying, fuck you, Facebook, you're not fucking pausing this woman. Because I know it paused on Frederick and it just cut out. In fact, it just disappeared. It didn't even actually stay up. I don't know if you deleted them, but I don't delete them if they cut out, by the way. I like to show people that this is what they're doing. Thank you. So anyway, I could just ring Buckingham Palace. Who do you reckon I should ask for? In fact, if you wake the Queen up, I got mental health people, or am I just... They say, don't they? They say there's a fine line between madness and genius. I think I tread that fine line very, 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 very carefully. So anyway, how's everybody doing? Maria says she could never cover up. No, I couldn't cover up for my kids as well. You know, whether do you want to call him Prince? Whether Andrew, let's call him Andrew. Whether P. Andrew, you know, just wants a casual shag with a couple of escorts that he can have in the back room in a really nice place and get a good blowjob and, you know, maybe have a couple of twos ups with some girls. And there's nothing wrong with that. Do you know what I'm saying? Well, there is, but there isn't. There's nothing wrong with that. There is. Who are we to judge if Prince Andrew wants to go in velvet? I'm not going to give any men any fucking hard-ons, am I? But who gives a shit whether, if you get hard on the next thing I'm going to say, then we've got a problem. But who gives a shit whether Prince Andrew or any male of you out there wants to lay on a bed with a harem of freaking women, one sucking their toe, one sucking their knob, one with a finger up their fucking arse, one with, I don't know, maybe he's even got a cock in his own mouth and a cock up his own arse, and you know, maybe she's giving him a fucking hand job and maybe one is sitting on one's face. Do you know what I mean? So what? If they want to do that, who are we to judge? Who are we to put cameras in their faces or point fingers at them as they're, you know, saying bye to one of the girls as they leave because you've not quite got your trousers on properly, because you've still got jizz down your leg and you can't quite find your trousers, and she's got to go because you've only paid her for an hour or two. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with him doing that, and it is wrong by everybody to out him for that. He has a right to a private life, just like the judge that I sucked his cock when I was an escort, or the footballer that I saw on a regular basis, or the actor that I saw on a regular basis, or the fucking really horrible fat sleaze person that I wish never booked me again. You know, it's that stuff doesn't matter. What matters is when these are not adults. What happens? What matters? And also, not even if these people are even adults. What these women are saying is that, you know, they were offered dreams, they were offered ambitions, they were offered, hey, you're a pretty girl, I can make you a star, but hang on a minute, you've got to bend over and take it up the arse for me, just like even Dean had when he wanted his contract. That isn't satanic, that isn't some big thing, that is just really fucking sleazy people who give the woman a slap on the arse, that need some fucking oops upside the head and some form of European Court of Human Rights in the workforce place being upheld, and isn't being done. But when like 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old girls and boys are being completely manipulated and drawn into something that they don't really know how to get out of, then we have to say zero tolerance. Now, if these people are then taking these people under duress and holding them, as we know happens, and then bringing them to a room to perform for somebody and being drugged the rest of the time, which goes on, then the police or some form of vigilante group has to go in and shoot the fuck out of these people and rescue the people in these situations, because they will have guns as they go through the door, so you haven't got a choice. And we're up against these people. These are illegal offshore adoption agencies as well. They hold children, impregnate them, take the baby, sell them. It goes on, right? It happens. I know I'm cutting in and out, so I hope you're hearing me. If I am talking to myself, please let me know that I'm talking to myself. And if you're still sitting there wanking, fuck off. Thanks, I'm still here. You know, so Queenie, I've got your fucking ball, and your royal fucking facades of people and your little monarchy show and your 10 Downing Street fucking puppets and your Houses of Lords and your Houses of Commons is incompetent. It is incompetent. You cannot change over a shift of a fucking business every 4 years. Amber, me and her still haven't got it right together, but Amber has served me, served FEA, served my family since 2015. 2019, we still haven't got our fucking shit and our acts together. We would have changed over people by now, but I decided I don't want to run their way. I want to get longevity. Amber will stick around or Amber won't. She takes me as I am or she takes me as I don't. I don't really give a shit. I'm on my own mission. I've got my own thing to do. I want my children home. I see this to be a bigger picture than just my own life right now. I could go to court by myself as a woman on my own. Do you know what's going to happen? I'm going to be held in contempt. I'm going to be slammed, and I'm not going to be back to pick my kids up from the childminder, and they're going to be put into foster care. So I'd rather write my book first and then present it to the courts, because that way the public sort of know what's going on. But could I rely on any single one of you? Like my mum said when I went for my committal prison, do you really think these people will still be there? But you know what? There's still people out there now for Carol Woods, the social worker that spoke out, that David found and I interviewed. She come across the Stolen Children of the UK, and David was like, whoa, quick. So, you know, he like held her, and we managed to get an interview with her. You know, she's still been sectioned, you know, so I even told him about Lord Graham today, because I said to her, well, to the person on the machine or whoever's going to listen to it, you heard it, it's going to go over to the day people. So at 9 o'clock in the morning, you know, they don't deem me a threat or anything to oops upside it. You know, at 9 o'clock in the morning, people are going to come to work tomorrow, and that recording is going to be, well, 3 recordings now. So 3 recordings are going to be paid. I spoke to the woman today, and what I want to know is, when I posted up that I just got off the phone to Buckingham Palace, did XR got shut down before that phone call or after that phone call? It could have been the Queen's speech and then she shut it down. It could have been my phone call, then she shut it down. So I've told them today that come this weekend, mate, they're not going to be able to stop what's happening. The revolution is coming whether they like it or not. The movement is too big to just say, sorry, we've just shut down London, mate. People will keep coming back. And like I said to him today, the way you come in that quick, people will go home, they'll go to sleep, they'll rest, they'll get some food. But I guarantee you, you know, meetings have already happened, mate. We already know that it's going back. So people can say that, you know, these things are run by this, or these things can run by that. It's grown. This is the Lord doing this. This is the Lord's work doing this. Like, all conspiracy theories can come up with whatever they like. It's like this spirit cooking, yeah. There's so many blogs about this spirit cooking, and if you see pictures of it and you just think, oh my goodness, this is a real photograph, it could destroy you. It's not a real photograph. It's an art exhibition. And it's David Icke and Mark Rice and that other one that have turned this into something else. And as with all truths, things aren't always black and white. They get murkied into a grey, and then you come into this fine grey area. And the problem is there's a lot of people who are in the grey area that need to come black or white, dark, light, bad, good, devil, evil, God, good. And there's a lot of people in this grey area. And the Queenie's in this grey area at the moment. And she needs to get her act together. And as I said, look, she's done a really good job to get our country to this level. But I gave them about 5 solutions that needed to implement. One was the universal credit one. Put people on the new system, take them on the old. Set that date, set that new date. Set when we exit as the date for everything. Also said the taxation. Remove the tax, ask people to tithe. To step up, to set the standard, but to make it achievable for everybody, because we work for an enabling empowerment environment. You know, there was other things that went in. You know, come from core of family, because even if somebody is single, they're still part of a family. So keep everything family orientated. Family isn't always just about a husband, wife, and 2 children. Family is about the child that didn't have the children, that still needs their family, their nans, their granddads, their uncles, their aunts, their cousins. You know, there's an article that I'm going to post out in a minute. 2 girls that were adopted had been searching for each other, separated, been searching to each other for years. They've been living next door to each other. You know, it's like a magnet. Family's like a magnet. It doesn't matter what shit you go through, you keep coming back. It's just that we're not taught to communicate in certain ways, and we're not taught to deal with conflict, and we've become so fearful of being attacked or being and we don't always like going back in and humbling ourselves and saying, oh look, I was a prat, and you know, and building those sort of relationships within our own families, with our own communities, within the people that we pass by. I always say, if you can't help someone, then say you can't help them. Don't promise people with things that you can't really do because you haven't really got the time. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say, I'd love to, but I actually don't have the time right now. I've got do. But maybe if you give me a hand with this and then I can give you a hand with that, that'd be great. You know, we can save some time. You know, time is so precious. Time is so precious. It really is. Time is so precious. And the time that we have with our children is so precious. And every second and every day that I'm without Aaron and Faith is another day and another second that breaks my heart even more. And then it pushes Dean even further away. And every day that we're not making memories with Elijah and Shiloh is time wasted. And every day we're not living in our true essence of ourselves, doing what we love, is just time wasted. And we can't waste time. And even with what's going on with all this global warming, at the end of the day, whether you want to believe it in being a conspiracy or not, what's wrong with loving the planet? What's wrong with you know, like, look at this art exhibition of this woman, right, that people are all having a go at Hillary Clinton and her husband for going to, right? I'm not a supporter of it. But Damien Hirst did a cow, and he basically cut a cow in half and he put it in fiber, in something hydrates, and he exhibited it in the Tate. You don't see animal rights campaigners out there every day saying this is not acceptable, because it was a dead cow and he's cut it in half, and it's quite interesting to look at the internal sides of a cow. If somebody took a human being and did that, there would be uproar. But however, if that person was dead, because there is actually a live dead museum thing that goes around, and it does actually exist, and there are parts of genuine, real human bodies that are exhibited in an artful way. And that's what this woman basically, she wanted to test people's psychology on how far they believed that they were willing to go. It was like a game of Russian roulette. And she basically sat there naked and gave everybody the chance to use whatever they wanted and to do whatever they want. And she was in performance state. And then she came out of performance state and people were shocked, because when she was in performance state, people didn't see it as something real, and they were testing and pushing their mental capacities and what they were capable of doing. You must sometimes really wish and feel like you could just punch your fucking fella or your missus in the face, but you wouldn't go there. Or sometimes someone does, and then you lose it and you go way too far and you step back and you're like crying in the cell. Do you know what I mean? We all have this fight and flight in us, and she basically tests that. And it's been completely blown out of proportion from what I can see, from going even further. I haven't seen. When people have seen people floating in blood and stuff, it was an art exhibition. However, there is a question she was asked between being a cult ritual and whether it was art. And she said the definition was whether it was being exhibited as an art performance or whether it was just a private showing in a home. Now, there is conclusions that these parties were done within homes, so therefore she was offering information that there was a chance that it was occult rituals expressed through art. So then you got to question what's going on. You can't just look at these things and go,